Much like Ornacia in RuPaul's Drag Race Workroom, 2024 has arrived, my children. And with it comes a slew of new movies I really can't wait to see. Which new movies are my most anticipated of 2024? Let's find out.
My baby likes.
Hello, my beautiful butter babies. So here we are in 2024. We finally made it, girl. And even though it may be bitterly cold outside, honey, the box office is heating up. Well, I should say it's warming up to tepid temperatures, girl. I say that because the writers and actors strikes that happened over the summer last year have really put a damper on the movies the studios actually have in the can, ready to go. The first quarter of the year will be a lot of holdovers from the holiday season of 2023, but only a handful of new movies will come out, and no tentpole movies will hit the theaters until at least the first weekend of March when Dune Part 2 hits the theaters. And I know Madam Web is supposed to hit on Valentine's Day, but really, girl, who cares? And then there are the projects that were either just starting production or were at various stages of development that had to stop in their tracks because of the dual strikes. Now that the strikes are over and production is back up and running, there's been a mad dash, sort of, for movies to complete production to make those release dates. And a lot of movies have already moved to new release dates, either in 2024 or some have even been moved to 2025. And those that are sticking to their original release dates are rushing like crazy to get their projects done. It will be very interesting to see how all this plays out and the quality of movies we'll eventually see in the theaters in 2024. And so this list is my most anticipated of those movies. So let's dive into them. Mean Girls. This movie opened up at #1 last weekend and surpassed box office analysts' expectations. The original movie, of course, is a classic, and so is the Broadway musical this particular movie is adapted from. And as a gay man, this is practically required viewing for me to hold on to my gay card. In fact, I would have already seen this movie last weekend, but Winter said, no, girl. Sit your ass down and wait a minute. But let me tell you, it is on my list once this winter weather decides to get its foot off our necks. The Book of Clarence. Now, unlike Mean Girls, The Book of Clarence is actually really bombing at the box office. And that's sad because of the two predominantly black movies currently on the 2024 schedule. This one looks far superior to that other one. I'm talking about you, Magical Negroes movie. It is getting mid to good reviews, but not great reviews. And as I said, it's really bombing at the box office. But I still want to see it because I support black cinema, except for Magical Negroes. You know what I'm talking about. It made the list because, again, it's the better of the two predominantly black movies scheduled this year. Argylle. Matthew Vaughn returns to form in what looks like a very fun spy caper. I've loved his Kingsman movies for the most part, and this movie has the same kind of vibe in it as the first couple of Kingsman movies. Fun, lighthearted, funny, and lots of really cool action sequences. Can't wait to see it. Drive Away Dolls. The Coen brothers, for me, are really kind of hit and miss, you know? But this movie, produced, written, and directed by Ethan Coen, independently of his brother Joel, actually looks like a really fun time at the movies. It's billing itself as a lesbian road trip gone wrong. What more do you need in a movie? I'm there. Challengers. This was an Oscar baity vehicle for Zendaya that was moved twice because of the actors' strike. Now it finds itself set to come out in early 2024. Now, I am a big Zendaya stan. That girl can do absolutely no wrong, and I only want good things for her, so that's why I'm looking forward to this movie. Will it get her Oscar gold, though? We'll see. Speaking of Oscar bait, the Amy Winehouse biopic Back to Black is coming out this year. Biopics are, again, hit or miss kind of movies. It's really, really hard to condense an entire life down to 2.5 hours of material without it feeling like you're rushing through a lot of it. But because biopics are a guilty pleasure of mine, and because Amy Winehouse was such a powerhouse talent, I'm definitely interested to see how they encapsulate her very short, complicated, and gone too soon kind of life. If. This is John Krasinski's first foray into family films. He's really done no wrong with his Quiet Place franchise, but this film seems to be more on brand for him as a person who spreads family-friendly, unadulterated joy. And that's what this film looks like, a joyous time at the movies for the entire family. Can't wait. On the decidedly not family-friendly side of the movies, we're going to experience Ballerina. Ballerina is a spin-off within the John Wick universe, so yeah, really no joy to be found anywhere, unless your joy stems from watching people beat the shit out of each other and kill each other, which, hey, no judgment. In fact, truth be told, I have loved the John Wick franchise. So let's see what this new corner of the Wick-verse, is that a term, leads us. Pulling ourselves out of the grim and back into the good vibes, we have Inside Out coming to theaters this summer. The original Inside Out had me literally weeping inside the theater. Bing bong. Never forget. So I have high hopes for this one as we get to experience Riley's puberty experience from the inside out. Bad Boys 4. Actually, I'm much more interested in seeing how Will Smith navigates the press tour for his first big Hollywood movie post-Slap. So while I'm sure the movie itself will be good, the press tour is bound to be delicious. Deadpool 3. This movie is supposed to, well, I really don't know what this movie is supposed to do for the MCU. I suppose at the very least, it's supposed to bring the X-Men into the MCU fold proper and Deadpool himself into the MCU fold proper. That was hinted at in the mid-credits scene of The Marvels, at least bringing the X-Men into the fold. But because this is a buddy film between Deadpool and literally Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman, this movie will take that multiversal hint and run with it. You know, anytime I get to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman working together will always be a good time. They both do, however, need to be at least half naked in at least one scene, caught in a loving embrace. The homoerotic fanfic practically writes itself, girl. Up next, Twisters. The first Twister movie really put Oklahoma on the map and how Oklahoma was on the leading edge of tornado research, technology, and meteorology. Hopefully this new film will be a good balance between the groundedness of science and technology and the excitement of a good old disaster movie. Twisters shot a lot right here in Oklahoma, and I have a friend or two that worked behind the scenes on this particular movie, so I can't wait to see it. Kraven the Hunter. This movie actually looks horrible. And so I'm only mentioning it because, brace yourselves, Aaron Taylor Johnson is in it and he has a huge penis. That's right. It's huge. It won't be on display in this movie, but you can see him and it in all their glory in a million little pieces. Aaron Taylor Johnson has a huge fucking donkey dick. That's all. Beetlejuice 2. This movie brings back most of the main characters from the original film. Catherine O'Hara can literally do nothing wrong, so that she is in this movie is worth the price of admission all on its own. But with her, you've got Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and of course Tim Burton back in the director's chair. Throw in a couple of cameos by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, and you've got yourself a hit. The only other superhero movie on this list is actually superhero adjacent. Joker, Folie à Deux, I know I pronounced that wrong, is coming out this fall, and I am thrilled. You know, Joker was never supposed to have a proper origin story. In fact, part of his scariness is you could never pin him down to one particular story. There have been several stories in the comics, in fact, with the Red Hood storyline being the most famous of them. But 2019 brought us Joker, which was one of the greatest origin stories ever told, in my estimation. Now we have the sequel to that movie, which, if rumors are true, will be a deep dive into Harley Quinn's origin with the Joker. If it's as good as the first movie, honey, we're in for a treat. And to wrap up the year, we have Red One starring Dwayne Johnson, which, honey, might as well be a spiritual sequel to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Jingle All the Way, and Wicked Part 1. Both movies will be a major part of my holiday movie experience this year. Especially Wicked, seeing that the touring company is swinging on a broomstick through Oklahoma City later this spring. Of course, I'm going. Did I mention I'm a gay man that loves musical theater? Of course I'm going. So I'm looking forward to seeing actually how the movie adaptation expands on the stage musical. I just cannot wait for it. And that's it. That's my list of my most anticipated films of 2024. What did you think of the list? Did some of your most anticipated movies make the list? Did I forget a couple of good ones? I probably did. Are there some movies on the list that shouldn't be there? I want to hear all your opinions right down there in the comment section below. Please sound off. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful butter babies. Thank you so much for commenting, and thank you so much for subscribing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.